Sandra was 8 when she realized that she can see who will be murdered in the next 24 hours. She had known something was wrong with her ever since she saw Auntie Lisa, Mommy's best friend, fall down the stairs when in fact Aunt Lisa was sitting with Mommy in the living room talking about their husbands. Sandra had screamed, but she was only 5 then, and when Mommy and Aunt Lisa rushed to see what had upset her, the terrible vision of Aunt Lisa lying all broken on the landing had faded. The next day, Sandra saw her mommy weeping in her phone. When she saw Sandra, she gasped, "Aunt Lisa, she's not coming round anymore." Later, Sandra picked up that Aunt Lisa had been killed. She still didn't quite understand the extent of her power. When out and about, she would fleetingly glimpse people with cut or bruised throats, broken bodies, gaping wounds in their chests where their hearts should have been, exploding heads. But these were strangers, and the visions would fade in seconds. Then one morning, Katie Gill came in the schoolyard with her head sitting all wrong on her shoulders, her neck twisted round. Sandra wasn't friends with Katie, a sullen girl, but she couldn't help running up to her. "Hey, Katie," she said. She knew Katie was going to have her neck broken, but she didn't have the words to tell her. Katie looked at her through her wrong eyes that only Sandra could see. The bell rang, and the children began lining up to enter the school. "Hey, Sandra," she answered with her deformed lips. There was nothing more to be said. Sandra walked in with Katie and tried to be nice to her all day, including her in their games and helping her with schoolwork, even though the sight of her twisted neck and crooked head churned her stomach. Katie didn't come back to school the next day, as Sandra knew she wouldn't, and the teachers told them later she'd gone to heaven with her baby brother and her mom. As Sandra grew older, she became better at blocking out visions. There weren't that many. Murder, after all, thankfully is not such a common crime. And Sandra couldn't really help anyone, even though there were times like the crying baby with the battered skull wrapped up in its mother's chest at the grocery store. She really wished she could. She was 11 when one afternoon, the neighborhood kids were playing in the street and Andy ran out. Sandra had seen him the day before, his body all crushed lying on the street. She knew it would happen then, and she had a crush on Andy. A car skidded into the street and Sandra ran forward, pushing him out of the way. The car hit Sandra instead. Sandra's last feeling as she lay in the street, the life force ebbing out, was relief. She would never see murdered bodies again.